This is it. Vocab, week 12, Tuesday time, whatever you want to call it. This week, we have 10 words and our academic word of the week, making for 11. And then we also have, of course, our idiom of the week. Here we go. We've got amenable, quorum, placebo, happenstance, depravity, belie, sanctimonious, it's a fun one to say, kowtow, also pretty fun to say, impugn, and innate. The AWOW, the academic word of the week, is hypothesis. So let's go through them. Amenable. This is an adjective. It describes being ready to do and be responsible for a certain task. So this could be something fun, or it could be like doing someone a favor. It would describe someone who's they're down, they're in. Yeah, let's do it. I'm amenable to that idea. Hey, you want to go to dinner? I'm amenable to that. You usually hear people say it about themselves, but it's certainly fine to say about someone else. He was amenable to the idea of working on our team together. They were amenable, doesn't have to be singular. They were amenable to taking in a movie, something like that. Quorum. Quorum is a noun. It's the minimum amount of people required to do something. This is almost always used in meetings. If you need a certain amount of people to have the meeting, that's the quorum. Or if it's a minimum amount of people for a vote. Like when Congress or the Senate get together, you can't have two senators show up and they vote. Like, well, we both voted. I guess it's a law. No. You need quorum. There's a minimum number of people who have to be there for any business to be able to get done. All right? Placebo. It's a noun. It's a substance that's presented to be something that it isn't. It's almost always used to talk about a medication. All right? Could be something else, but usually medication. So instead of being the medication, it's some harmless kind of nothing that won't have any effects whatsoever. It's usually a sugar pill. Now what happens is when they're trying to figure out whether or not a medication is going to work, they test it. And what they do is they give patients the real drug, the real pill, and they give other patients the placebo, telling them it's the real pill. Then they measure what differences they actually go through. One of them is getting the pill, one of them is not. The placebo, they think they're getting it. So sometimes they'll believe they're having effects, but they're really not. Placebo is an interesting thing. Read about the placebo effect. It'll blow your mind. All right. Anyway, this cartoon in the corner, or meme, does a good job of talking about it. My sister had a headache, and we ran out of Advil. So I gave her a Skittle with a glass of water. She didn't really get any Advil. She got a sugar pill. She got a piece of candy. But I'm willing to bet they would think their headache felt better 30 minutes later. Because by believing it's working, they actually start feeling the effects. It's real interesting stuff. Anyway, happenstance. It's a noun. It's an event that occurs or happens randomly. So if a thing is happenstance, it just happens. It's kind of a coincidence, right? It's a random thing that happened. It was just happenstance that I ran into my friend from 10 years ago. This weekend at Trader Joe's, I ran into one of my teachers from high school. I went to high school in Denver. Now I live in the desert, and I ran into a teacher I had in Denver. It was just happenstance. We happened to live in the same place. That's just what it was. All right, depravity. It's a noun. It's used to label a morally disgusting act. The adjective form is depraved. If someone is depraved, they do things that are absolutely repulsive and disgusting. All right? I'm not real sure why Gollum's here for this. I guess he's depraved. Sure, why not? But if he did something horrible, I mean really horrible here, it would be a depravity, which he had done. Now, the verb belie is a good one. It's to show something to be false or untrue. So the example could be, I tried to look calm, but my shaking voice belied how nervous it was. I'm pretending I'm calm, but it's a lie. I'm really nervous. The thing that reveals it's a lie is that my voice is shaking, or, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm jumping up and down. My voice cracks, something like that. That would belie. It shows that something is a lie. Sanctimonious. Man, that is a fun word to say. It's an adjective. It describes the actions or the words of someone who is grossly flaunting a religious value for personal gain. They make a show of holiness more than actually meaning it. This happens a lot, unfortunately. If someone kind of uses their religious faith to get something from someone else, or to pretend that it makes them morally or ethically superior to someone else, that is sanctimonious. It's particularly bad when you know that person isn't really as faithful as they're pretending to be. So it was hard to take his telling me what to do seriously with his sanctimonious speech when I knew he was a thief and a liar, right? He's making himself sound like he's so perfect because of his faith, but really, he's just a creep, all right? That would be sanctimonious. All right, impugn, it's a verb. It's to cast doubt upon someone else and call out them or something that they did as phony. It's attacking and criticizing someone by saying what they do is not true or genuine. If you impugn my reputation, you're saying I'm really not as good at something as I try to make myself sound like. If I hear someone's a great singer and I go around telling everybody, yeah, not a great singer, I've heard them, they're really bad, I am impugning their reputation. I'm calling out what they did as phony. Yeah, they say they're a great singer, but really they sound like a cat being kicked in the neck, something like that. It's horrible. All right, next, kowtow. It's a verb. Now, this word originally meant to get down on one's knees and bow so deeply that your forehead touched the ground. It's something from Eastern cultures, I believe Indian. But now, it's used more just to show a very deep outpouring of respect and supplication. You don't have to literally get on your knees and touch your head to the ground, although that's what it originally meant. It's to bow down before someone to show respect and their greatness. Weirdly, you almost never hear the word used in conversation sincerely. It's almost exclusively used sarcastically or to hear someone say what they won't do. Like, yeah, they come in like they're so big, but I'm not going to kowtow to him. Or, oh, you want me to kowtow to you? No one ever says it sincerely, which is kind of weird, kind of funny. Innate. It's an adjective. It describes something that has existed with someone or something since birth or since its creation. It's a part of it deep down and has been all along. It's something that is just there. Some people have an innate sense of right and wrong. They just know. They're born with it, right? Some people have an innate ability to be musical. They have perfect pitch, right? They hear a note and they know exactly what note it is. They can just play piano. It's amazing. Some people have innate skills at sports. Some don't so much. All right. Now, the academic word of the week is hypothesis. That's a noun. It's an idea or a theory that is not proven, but that leads to further study or discussion. This is most often used in science classes. You can certainly use it in math class. And you may notice here the word thesis. That's something that we would have in English classes or in history classes, right? The thesis is, here's the thing I'm trying to prove. Hypothesis is kind of the step before that of, here's the idea we're going to explore and try to figure out, right? So there's that. Now, there is a verb form, which would be to hypothesize. If you hypothesize, you are making the theory. The idiom of the week is to know the ropes. If you know the ropes, you understand how to do something. You're familiar, you're acquainted with all the methods required of you to do the task. So the sentence we have here is the captain, who'd been on the coast before and knew the ropes, took the steering oar. Now, the irony here is, this is an expression that, as I recall, is based in sailing. If you know the ropes on a giant sailing vessel, you know how to run the ship. Because the whole thing's about how you deal with the ropes and the sails, and when you trim the sail, and when you let it out, and so on and so forth. I'm not really a sailor. I think that's what they say. I'm not sure. So to know the ropes, you know how to do it. You know what you're up to. You can take care of things. All right? You know the ropes. Hopefully you know the ropes, and hopefully you now know the vocab words. Good luck. We'll see you soon.